Yetta, I like buying new for the low down payment.
It can look enticing.
Moving forward with the Dekker Team. Moving forward together with the Dekker Team.
So we're excited that we've created for you free access to over 587 Life's Inside Track episodes where we share insider tips, making house home, how to get the most out of your space. And the great news is you get access to them from home, from the office, or on the go. And if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, what you waiting for? The Dekker Team YouTube channel so you can get the episodes as soon as they come out. So in this segment, we're going to explore, does the timeline on new construction serve you or does it hurt you?
Yeah, it's a great question. And it can do both. Not at the same time, though.
Yeah, it does one or the other at any particular juncture.
It's market and interest rate dependent. And quite often it's double whammy because if interest rates are going up, generally prices are hurting because affordability is going down. So historically, when interest rates go up, prices go down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what we're contending with right now.
Right.
So this is a very apropos conversation because if you're thinking about new construction right now, the first thing I'm going to say is you want a great guide on your side. And not just maybe by your side, not on your side. Which way is it? A great guide by your side. And we would love to be that great guide if you resonate with us. If you're thinking, yes, these people know what they're talking about. I want to make sure that even when I go into new construction, that I have somebody that's vying for me rather than just attempting to sell me something like the new house.
Yeah. And many of the clients that weren't our clients when they bought the new, but now are saying, hey, can you help me out? Can you sell this? Can you fix this? I bet you they wish they had frank conversations before they made that move 2 years ago or a year and a half ago to buy new, especially if it was like an investment property or something. So we're going to talk about why new construction is amazing.
It's phenomenal
for building wealth and what the risks are. Because if you're going to build quick wealth, because it's fairly quick, you need to know what the risk is because you can lose fairly quick too because this superpower called leverage.
And because it works for you from a gain perspective and then it costs you, it feels like exponentially from a loss perspective.
Yeah, so I know you don't quite love numbers quite as much as I do, but you do them in your head pretty quick.
I'm pretty good at the general numbers.
Yes,
I just prefer to make it easy for people to absorb the information. Because when we're talking on radio or even on video and we don't have graphs and charts and the visual of it, it can be a little more difficult to absorb the information.
Okay.
So we're going to be reasonably specific, recognizing that whenever we're talking percentage increase, we're talking percentage gain or percentage loss, unless we're using historical data, they're general, they're average, they're historical.
Yeah, and we're projecting that historic forward, which sometimes works, sometimes doesn't, but it's the only true information we have to base anything on. So, So any of our projections are not guaranteed, of course.
Nope.
So let's say you buy a property and it's a new construction, it's 2 years out.
Yeah.
Okay. And that property is $700,000. And you're going to put down 5%. And usually the builder will split that into 2 or 3 payments. And if they want more than that, you can usually negotiate that and say, no, I'm going to be buying with 5% down through CMHC, and that's all the down payment I've got. And usually they're going to go, oh, okay, that makes sense.
And that's if we're talking tract homes now. We're not talking custom builds. We're not talking when you own your own land. These are all different conversations. This isn't construction financing. This is buying a home from a builder that has a sales site and has several models for you to choose from. That would be the typical way the down payment would work.
Right.
Right?
So if we buy a house, say at $700,000, back in the pandemic time, that's probably an okay townhouse.
Right.
So it's $700,000, and historically, our growth has been 4 to 5% over the last 20, 30 years.
In the Ottawa
area.
With a couple of little teeny exceptions.
Yeah, we went some down and up, but so the higher ups cancel out the few little dips, and so you end up being right around that 4 to 5%. But I'm going to take 4% as a
to be conservative
number. Yeah. So 4% on 700 over 2 years is $57,000 because you get $28,000 the first year, and the second year your gain is on 728, not on 700. So it ends up at just over $57,000. So the 5% of the 700, the down payment was $35,000. So that's why I call it a superpower, because you just turned $35,000 and more than doubled it. You've added $57,000 of equity because the property went up 4%. That's the power of leverage. Now,
because you didn't have all your money in. If you had a larger down payment, just to make this really simple, because for some people they're tracking with you. Mm-hmm. And for some people they're saying, Ken Dekker, I do not understand what you're saying, which I say way too often to him, but not so much about numbers. They're pretty fluid in my head too. But if you put down, instead of 35,000, if you'd put down 70,000, which 10%, let's say that's the best you were able to negotiate with the builder, because you were going to have, it was an investment property, you were going to need 20% down at closing anyway in that case. Now you haven't quite over doubled your money.
No, your 70,000 has made 57,000.
Which is still, where are you going to get that?
Yeah, it's amazing. Right? So now the problem is if it goes the other way, and that's what's happened recently.
Yeah.
The value of real estate has gone down a little bit after the super high of the pandemic, and interest rates have gone up. So it's kind of a double whammy. But let's say it went down 4% by
for
2 years. Yeah.
Right.
So it's about $55,000 loss. So your $35,000 is eaten up, and you're still negative
20K.
Another $20K. So you're down 55. Now, it's not the end of the world if you're moving into that property and you're going to wait it out, right? Not too bad if you were renting and now you're moving in there.
Because time will do the lifting for you again on the flip side.
Over time. Yeah.
You'll be fine.
What the double jeopardy is, if you had a property that you need to sell before you move in at the closing, if the property values are going up, both properties are going up, the build and your existing home.
So you are winning big time. Big time. Which would have been the history of most of the last of the 30 odd years.
Right. Now, if you're got to sell your house, move into the townhouse, or move into this new house, it's double jeopardy if it's gone down, because your property's gone down, the new build's gone down, interest rates have probably gone up, you have less equity to pay in. It's like a house of falling cards. It's very scary. So there's risk, high potential, and higher risk. That's why I call it speculative, right? So recently we had a client in the Richmond area that had the same thing. Prices went down by $73,000 since they bought it.
And they thought they wanted to sell. And clearly we said, are you sure you want to sell?
Hold on and wait.
Right, hold on and wait.
So leverage is a superpower for gain or for loss. And we love that. Together we're clarifying options so that your wisdom will flow.
Moving forward with the Dekker Team. Moving forward together with the Dekker Team.